Stanley's first at bat as an Athletic, and Mike Soraka makes him go away. Bottom of 2, Harold Baines plays. No dramatics. Kevin Apier gets him to pop up behind second base. Baines 1 for 4 in this game in his return to the city. Third inning, White Sox showing some D. Sal Fasano loops at the center. Chris Singleton, restaurant quality catch to get the out in 6. Still 2-0 White Sox. 2 on Jason Giambi. And the boat sleeps 6. 3-run home run, his 27th, though not in this game. That would be some kind of record. A's take a 3-2 lead, run to 7th. Still 3-2 A's. Runner at first, runner at second. Ray Durham, a chance to tie it, but instead 6, 4, and 3. And the numbers from the Fronton were 5 and 2. We're in the 8th, 4-2 A's. Chicago, another opportunity. Frank Thomas here, bloops it down the line. Look at Giambi, Jason Giambi, the fancy play. Jose Valentin would go over to third, but it didn't matter. The A's win it 5-3. Show them what they've won. Major League Baseball game. Oakland out trailing Seattle by a single game for the AL West lead. Leader Molina to Omar Vizquel, who's good. Oh, that's very good. Bueno. 5-4 Angels, top of 3. Woodard, Troy Gloss going to left center. Kenny Lofton. He's back and brings that back in. That was going to go over the wall. He stopped a home run. Stopped a long single. Caught the ball. Vizquel. He left the game with the flu. Did the same thing in the game before. Vizquel's replacement, Holbert Cabrera. Home run. Sprinting around the bases because he was scared about something. 4th inning, still a score in the game. Darren Erstad blooping it to left. Cabrera back. It's a good one. Why was he running so fast? 9th inning. Jim Thomey's up, 1 on.
Drive deep right field. Way back. That ball is gone. The Indians win. Unbelievable.
It was more exciting than I gave it credit for because the score was 10-9 going in there. So Thomey making the big hit. And that there made Percival a lifetime 0-7 pitchers cut. And he brought in the helicopters to dry off the field. No problem for Alex Rodriguez. Home run, his 26th. That's off of Andy Pettit. Mariners up 1-0. He's hit more homers off Andy Pettit than any other pitcher. And then Pettit upset about something. Jamie Moyer serving it up to Bernie Williams. All the salt's been coagulating with the humidity, but Williams cuts through it. And he's hit more homers off Moyer than any other pitchers. Game is tied at 3. 2-7. Moyer played Bellinger. Tied at 5. Alex Rodriguez did not rent the Tom Amansky defensive drills video 2. He has 1, but he didn't get 2. And then Moyer against Jorge Posada. Rips that into the vacancy. Bellinger coming from first. Yankees go up Chula by a count of 6-5. Joe Table in against Glenn Allen Hill. And a big play to meet is served up. Hill's 3rd home run in 7 games for New York. Yankees go up 10-5 and get a bunch of more points and win it by a count of 13-6. So Posada's 4-hit, 4 RBI game was a get-well effort after.
That would be Mike Piazza staring him down 60 feet, 6 inches away. Yes! Top second, Joe McEwing, who back in May had 3 extra base hits against Johnson. Only guy ever to do that, and how about 2 more? It's headed towards the pool. That'll drive in a run. Jay Payton's going to score 1-0 Mets at that juncture. Gets worse from there. Top 4, 2-0 Mets. Mike Bordick walks. Next batter, Derek Bell. A little routine grounder, maybe. Tony Womack, he's a futility infielder. 3-0 Mets. Jay Payton scoring again. Next batter, Edgardo Alfonso with 2 men on. Walks him, another free pass to load up the bases. And here come Piazza. He struck out. Not this time. Goodwood there. Bordick scoring. Bell scoring. 5-0 in favor of the visitors. Buck Showalter, he's seen enough. He's got the hook. Johnson going after 3 2/3. 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 of them earned. Not his best work. Bottom 4, still 5-0. Luis Gonzalez is up. And there's Bordick playing defense. That is lovely. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Rick Reed just rolling along. You're going to get some more defense here. Jay Bell, second baseman to second baseman. Fonzie gets it. Reed goes 7 2/3, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, and the Mets win it by a count of 6-1. Johnson 3 2/3. As I said, the 8 hits. It's his shortest outing since coming over to the National League. The Mets win for the 9th time in 10 games. There's Thursday loading up again to the bottom of the 5th with 2 on. Delivers the base knock to left. Bill Miller rounding third, headed for home. He's a brown-eyed handsome man. Here comes the throw. And, yeah, you're in there. Kent, 2 ribs. Giants up 3-2. Top 7, Doug Henry. Whoops, he'd like to have that one back. Alex Ramirez, outstanding height on that ball. 2 second homer for Ramirez. Game tied at 3. Henry's not pleased. Bottom 7, 0 outs, 2 men on for Barry Bonds, who's probably the finest player ever. Bonds whacks it over there into right field. Marvin Menard's going to score. Bonds now 69 RBIs. The Giants go up 4-3. Bonds gets down there to first, got some tightness in his calf, so Felipe Crespo comes out of the dugout, stretches. He'll run. Bonds leaves limping. Says precautionary, should be ready Saturday afternoon. Gents go 1 up on the Diamondbacks. 5-3. Giants won for the 4th time in 5 games.
The Dodgers, Davey Lopes just gets a joke. Told him 3 years ago. Bottom of 2, no score. Adrian Beltre against Paul Rigdon. And that's over some fencing they set up. 1-0 the Dodgers. And Kevin Brown against Richie Sexton in the 6th. And that's just another case of the man holding us down. Brown, Jeremy Burnitz. Another pitch. No, I'm all set. 2 batters later, Jose Hernandez. He's leaving. That's more beer for us. Last of 5 straight strikeouts for him. Brown had a career high 12 Ks on the night. 8th inning tied at 1. Eric Karros against Juan Acevedo. The middle past Acevedo. Mark Grizzolana comes to score 2-1 the Dodgers. And Mike Fetters finishes this thing off, gets Jeremy Burnitz to go away. The Dodgers win it 2-1. So Brown actually matching his career high with 12 strikeouts. He's now allowed 3 earned runs or fewer in 20.
Will Clark. First pitch he sees at Busch Stadium off Tommy Glavine. That is gone. Second is a card. The Cards lead at 1-0. Clark comes back out, shows everybody his bald spot. Bottom of 3rd, runners on the corner, no out, same score. Fernando Tatis grounding. Oh boy. Andres Galarraga got 1. They don't get the guy at home. He scores. Now we go back and we take Tatis out, and somehow that's a 3-2-6-3 double play, but the Cards score, run to lead 3-2. Top 4th, 1 on, nobody out. It's Galarraga. That's why Andy Benes is not a cat person. The Big Cat's 22nd of the season. Braves lead it 4-3. Bottom 5, bases loaded again. Cards trailing 5-3. I just said that. Will Clark out of the inning. Cards cannot score. Braves still up 5-3. Top 6. This time base is empty. Keith Lockhart popping it out. Eduardo Perez, look out for the bikes. He's in there, makes the great sliding catch at the wall. Bottom 7, bags full of Cards again, right at Chipper Jones. End of threat. Bottom 8, guess what? Cards, sacks full. Trailing 6-4, Eric Davis. Whip. We got it. Frucal stepping on second, double play. Cards cannot score. Bottom 9, they got 2 on. Somebody give me a hit. No, Craig Paquette. Swings to end the game. Cards leave 14 men on base. The Braves win it by a count of 6-4. Glavine wins his 7th straight start. Hasn't done. With a man on, Ryan Dempster.
He swung at a pitch down.
He makes Kenneth go. Then in the 5th, Dempster to Pokey Reese, swinging, another pitch. Dempster 7 Ks in 8 innings. All-star back going well. Bottom 9, 2-1 Marlins, 2 out. Antonio Fonseca, Dimitri Young. Young goes to right. Dante Bichette coming over to 3rd. Young in there with the double. John Bowles trying to survive another 1-run game. Alfonseca to the pinch hitter, Alex Ochoa. It's over. Mike Lowell making the play, and the Marlins hang on to win it by a count of 2-1. So how many times have you seen that? Back-to-back games, the scores of 2-1. Brian Dempster's a winner for the first time since July 1st. The All-Star now 10-8.
Field pitching tips. Bottom 1st, no score. Nomar off Jeff Suppan. And Mike Lansing. Wendell, send him in. Kim sends him in, and Lansing. Oh, my. There's out, and then there's that. Lansing's not too pleased with the 3rd base coach. Bottom 5, Sox down 4-2. Trot Nixon up with 2 on. Trot Nixon, shallow fly to center. Mark Quinn is there. No, he's not there. Well, he's there, but he drops the ball. Darren Lewis scores. Red Sox close to 4-3. Bottom 6, same score. Garcia Parr in first. Troy O'Leary off Suppan. And that's going in the geometric place called the triangle. Garcia Parr scores easily. O'Leary, he runs really fast. 270 feet. Goes into 3rd with a triple. First triple for O'Leary in almost a year. Bottom of the 8, Brian Daubach in a 4 for 33 slump. Unslump this. Solo blast to 16th, and the Red Sox come back from 4-zip to win it 5-4. Rich Garces wins. Low the save. Rico Bronya 1 for 3 in his first go as a Red Sox. Friday, Billy Hasselman, the former driller of Steve Traxel. New baseball, $9. Rangers up 2-0. Second of the year for Hasselman. Bottom 5, Blue Jays down 4-2. Tony Batista, goofy-looking stance. Not that effective. Royce Clayton, glad he's on my team. Take another look. It's the same thing, only slower. And the pitcher's happy. Top 8 Blue Jays, up 8-7, 2 men on. Clayton, we saw him out in the field, doing it with the stick, scoring Ricky Leday, ties it up at 8. 8-8 in the 8th, a lot of 8s. Darren Fletcher shoots one down the left side. Batista, Jose Cruz Jr. both score. Fletcher 3 ribs, and the Blue Jays get themselves a 10-8 victory. Steve Traxel making his Blue Jays debut, gave up 5 runs, 4 earned. 7 1-0s, man on third, Luis Matos swinging. You got 3 guys, 3 gloves, and 1 baseball that's fair. Yvonne Coffey scores, O's up big early, 8-1, but the D-Rays come way back. It's a 9-7 game. Jose Guillen, 2-out knocks are the best kind. Albert Bell slides, gets his pants grass stained. Fred McGriff, Jose Canseco score. It's a 9-9 game, and it would stay that way into the 15th when 2-out Delino DeShields come through with a base wrap off Esteban Yan. Brady Anderson, no relation, would score, and the Orioles win at 10-9 in a game in 2/3. Bet you didn't know Jason Johnson pitched 4 hitless and scoreless innings for his
7. San Diego's up. July's NL Player of the Month, Sammy Sosa. Bueno. Joe Girardi, Eric Young come to score. Cubs up 9-8. Now in the 7th, 9-9. Eric Owens hits that 2-strike pitch through the infield. 2 come to score. Owens with 6 straight multi-hit games. 11-9 Padres. Everyone's excited. Out west is Eric Owens. His 6th consecutive multi-hit game, 15 for 28 in that span. Trevor Hoffman came on for the suicide squeeze. You got Jeff Fry over the 3rd. Maine throws it down. Throw goes to 1st. And there's a run scored. 6-1 Rockies. 8th inning, Todd Helton's at bat. He's facing Mark Holzheimer. And a big plate of meat is served up to him. 27 homers, 91 RBI. 2nd dog of the night. Rockies win it by a count of 8-1. So Todd Helton's 7th multi-home run game this